Okay, today we're going to talk about what are you selling in your marketing message. When you market to your customers, are you actually selling them the product or service that you have on offer, or do you sell them the transformation that it brings to them? So there's two things that make people take action. It's a pain point or it's a desire. And to get people's attention, you need to appeal to either of those. So every product and service that we buy in our lives is either to fix a pain, make our life easier in some ways, or to bring us some kind of pleasure, entertainment of some sort, of some description. Now, it's worth noting at this point, the bigger the pain point, the more people are willing to spend fast. You know, the more pain, the more people are willing to spend. And two examples of this that spring to mind is toothache, for example. So imagine in lockdown, it's been difficult for people getting to the dentist, and if you might have a bit of toothache, a mild niggle, you know, you'll put up with it. If this develops into severe pain to the point that you can't sleep, you can't eat, you can't function, you're just in excruciating pain. If you've ever had that, just imagine how bad it is. You'll pay to get that fixed. You'll do anything you can to get that pain addressed. So that's one example of pain. Physical pain is something that will motivate people to spend money. Another a personal example I had was I'll be honest, my hair, I've always done DIY hair. I go to the hairdressers about once a year and have a big chop. I've never spent a lot of money on my hair. I dye it myself, and so I've had years of experience of doing my own hair. Now, I was meant to be a bridesmaid at my cousin's wedding. I was a bridesmaid at my cousin's wedding. So I timed it so I was going to do my hair dye, you know, just before the wedding, the day before I was due to travel. And I did the hair dye as normal, and it was horrendous. It came out carrot orange. I don't know what went wrong to this day. It was the same brand, it was the same make. I do what I always do, but it was bad, and I was mortified. I mean, you've been mortified going out with the carrot orange hair anyway, like really bright orange, but I was going to be a bridesmaid, and there was going to be hundreds of people at the wedding looking at me, and there was going these photographs were going to be around for forever. So obviously I was mortified. I had to go to work. I was traveling that day, and I busted my gut that day, rang every hairdresser's in town, paid, basically, long story short, managed to get an appointment, was practically crying on this poor hairdresser, and managed to get an appointment and paid what I had to pay to get it fixed. It wasn't money that I would have ordinarily spent on that day to get that problem fixed, but that's one of the main things that sticks out in my life when I think about this, is I was going to pay whatever it took to get that fixed. So we need to start thinking about what our products and services, what are we doing for our customers? You know, is it pain points or is it desires? And how big is that pain, or how big is that desire? How much do people really want that product or service that we've got to offer? True fact, people don't really care about your product or service. They care about the difference it's going to make to them, what it's going to do for them. So, for example, a toothbrush. People might care about the toothbrush in terms of environmental factors these days. You know, there's a lot of bamboo toothbrushes out there, you know, trying to minimise the amount of plastic and disposable plastic. So I take it absolutely, in some respects, people might care about the toothbrush. But after that, do you really care about, you know, how it's made, where it's made, the bristles? Maybe if it's as long as it's comfortable and as long as it's doing the job for you, you care about the transformation, what it's doing for your teeth. And this can be applied to anything, you know, apart from socially conscious buying choices. people want the transformation, they want the transformation the product or service is going to bring. They're not going to buy it if they don't need it. If they do that, they're giving a charitable donation, and that's not what we're after when we're in business. We're in the business to fix problems or give people entertainment or some kind of pleasure. So here's a few examples of here is what our product can do versus what the product can do for you. So the iPhone, Apple, they've got the marketing nailed. They're genius in their marketing in terms of selling the transformation. There's lots of phones on the market, there's lots of laptops on the market, but Apple are the leading brand because of how they sell what their product can do. So when the iPhone first came out, they could have said you get 1 gigabyte worth of storage. What some people know what that means, some people don't know what it means, but they sold it that you could have 1,000 songs in your pocket, and that just blew people's minds. They didn't know what a gigabyte could do. It sounded impressive, but it didn't mean anything in reality to them. So 1,000 songs in your pocket is what sold it. Because if you can remember pre-iPhones, before that, you could have your mini discs or your CDs or your Walkman, that it's like music going digitally in this way was just mind-blowing. So they're selling the feature and selling the benefit, rather than the feature. Shampoo, for example. So shampoo, it could be sold that it's got these new fancy chemicals in it, that it's made with this, it's made with that, or they could just say it's going to give you beautiful shiny hair that's going to get you noticed. People want the outcome, they don't care. Again, apart from environmental factors, people don't usually care. It's the outcome that they want. It might be really, really good environmentally, but if it doesn't wash your hair, then it's not done the job. A rucksack, so you could say a rucksack's got a rain cover, or it's going to keep your stuff dry even in torrential rain. They're appealing to people's emotions, and you might think, how can you appeal to somebody's emotions with a rucksack? It's something very basic, it's something very functional. If you're somebody outdoorsy like me, if you do a lot of walking, a lot of camping, if you've been stuck in torrential rain all day and you get to the point you've got to unpack your kit and it's all drenched through, the fact that the rain cover's there and has done its job means the world to you. So it's tapping into people's emotions in that point of how are they going to use that product, and then how will that affect their emotions. So just taking a bit of time to think it through in that respect. And then diets. There's 101 diets in the world. Meal plans, exercise plans, shakes. They could list all of that, but people want to know the outcome. Okay, so obviously the outcome is losing weight, but what's the transition, the outcome, and the journey to that. So for example, you're going to know exactly what to eat, you're going to know exactly how you need to move. It's giving people a picture of the journey, okay? So you're tapping into the emotions of, we're going to make this journey easy for you. So there's a few examples of features and benefits. So we want to flip features to benefits. So start thinking about products and services in your social enterprise. What have you got? Okay, what are the features of them, and what are the benefits of them, and how can we start using those in our marketing messages? It's about connecting with people's emotions and their imagination. So yeah, just how is using your product and service going to make them feel? What difference is it going to make in their life? How can you make an emotional connection with them quickly, because that's what's going to make people buy. People purchase based on emotions. So challenge today is to have a think what you've got and what you can do to tap into people's emotions.